Well, generally I would say magic is a performing art, which does not necessarily mean that every magician is automatically a great artist, obviously,
Yes.
but as an art form, magic has a great potential, I think, to touch people and to make people enjoy the art. So that's what magic is to me, performing art. That depends. Usually I just try to enjoy myself first on stage, so it's a bit egoistical maybe, but I think the idea is to have a good time together, first of all, so to enjoy the company of each other, the audience as me as a performer together, and then of course one necessary or central element of magic is, I think, a little bit the amazement of wonder, if you want to say, to maybe feel like a child again, even if only for 2 seconds, you know, that feeling that suddenly something happened that cannot be real or cannot be done or is impossible. And then afterwards, of course, the head sets back in and you're reminded that it's just a fiction, it's not reality, like in the movies, you know, that you live that moment. Again, not so easy, because I think magic is very open to lots of different talents. So if somebody is very elegant and dances wonderfully, then he might bring that into his magic, and then the result will be one special style. And if somebody has a good way with words, then he might use language more for his magic. But I think the one element that all good magicians have to a certain degree is some basic understanding of psychology, maybe, because after all, magic is happening in the spectators' minds. That something is impossible is a judgment that every spectator has to make for himself. And we as magicians have to try and form their thinking process along those lines that it appears impossible.
Yes.
So without any psychology whatsoever, I think it's difficult to be a real good magician.
So you have to get into people's mind.
In a way, yeah, to try and see the effect from their perspective, to guess what they might experience.
Not just seeing from a magician's eyes,
Exactly.
but from their positions.
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, as a magician, we always think from that side, but I think we have to try to go into the spectator's mind and guess what might be going on there. Well, other effects basically. I think what happens is that over the years you acquire some experience in performing and creating, and as long as you get enough input by watching other magicians and reading books and so on, then more or less automatically there will be some output. And the question is just then to sort the good from the bad, from the ugly, you know, and then work on the good, on the promising material, and forget a bit about the rest. So the more, without input, there's no output.
Find your characters.
It's again a difficult question, I
Yes.
think, and I'm still struggling with that myself. I think it's not really something that you can consciously decide. You can't go and say, now I decide I will be this kind of stage character. You may try that, but it might end up looking or feeling very artificial. I think it's just a question of going out there and perform as much as you can. Just perform, and after a few years, somehow, gradually, some kind of character will form and will be more specific after a while. I think it's something that, if it happens at all, it happens more or less automatically.
So it's just anything.
Yeah, I'm not usually good at giving advice, because it's everybody has to find his own way, and as soon as you give one advice, there will be some other guy who does the exact opposite, and it works brilliantly for him. But the one thing that I personally think is to try and read books, that as opposed to buying single trick DVDs exclusively. I mean, there might be some merit in that as well, but I think to have, as a beginner, a basic education, so to speak, in magic, mythology and psychology, books are still, to me, probably the best way to go. So that might be the one piece of advice that I might.
Yeah, because a lot of young people, they don't read anymore.
Yeah.
They stop reading, they watch DVDs and things like
Yeah.
that. So thank you very much, Pit, for having
Thank
you
you.
in Hong Kong
Thank you for having
and
me.
the China tour. Hope
Yeah,
you enjoyed
thank you
the whole
very
trip.
much.